So, hi everyone. Um, I wanted to make a vlog here real quick, or real long, who knows, about like mood disorders and anxiety disorders and me and basically the progress or lack of progress that has occurred in my life in terms of that. Um, there's been a lot of changes in my life, so that could be a factor. Because a factor of the fact that I have been having a lot of issues lately. There's namely like three issues. One is I have the old sleep anxiety. If people weren't around watching my old vlogs and stuff, it gets pretty bad. It's just like, basically, I'm afraid of not sleeping. It's like a phobia. And it becomes a cycle. And when I'm afraid of not sleeping, not being able to sleep, I get in a panic state. And I end up staying up all night. What I fear becomes reality. So essentially, I panic about being panicky about not being able to sleep. That's the only anxiety issue I currently have. Okay, and I wanted to mainly talk about mood disorders in this video because the only other thing I experienced was social anxiety, and I do have some good news to report on that, and that is basically through a combination of just me forcing myself to get out there and meet, people that are strangers, just get out there constantly, maybe like once a day. I even kind of give myself a goal to like get out there and meet someone. I join meetup groups to do all this other type of stuff. That combined with, taking Xanax, prescribed to benzodiazepine. I usually pop a few before I go to a heavily social situation. Kind of alleviates the fear of it. And I've noticed that just by experience, by going out there and, doing these social things, you learn that, nothing's really bad is going to happen. And just from experience, social anxiety starts waning away. So for me, it's not really, there's no social anxiety problems to speak of, to be honest with you. And that's been many years in progress. I've been working on social anxiety for a long time. So that is good news that I've overcome that for the most part. I still take Xanax during really big social events and stuff like that. But, it's just more of a, convenience. What I want to talk about is like mood disorders, and me and my psychiatrist, I actually just saw my psychiatrist this morning, and again, there's a new psychiatrist because I didn't have insurance, but now I have VA medical insurance, and so it's VA doctors, veteran, they treat veterans, and they do things a little bit differently. For sleep, like for example, Lunesta cured my sleep problem. If I have Lunesta on my shelf, then I never had any anxiety about sleep because I knew it'd be able to, put me to sleep, keep me asleep, no problem. And actually it has some kind of a anti-anxiety aspect to it too. It was great. But with VA, they don't want to spend that much, so apparently they have to work their way up to an expensive drug like Lunesta by putting me through all these different things like temazepam and hydroxyzine and all this other cheap alternatives basically before I can get Lunesta. But I take Ambien mainly. It puts me to sleep, but I have these episodes where I wake up and not able to go back to sleep. And I basically, for me, when I'm tired, I mean, it amplifies whatever mood disorder I have. And that's what I want to talk about, is what mood disorder do I have? And I've been trying to figure that out with psychologists, psychiatrists, everything. Or maybe I'm just like a normal guy overreacting. I don't know. Like, the doctor, both doctors, psychiatrists said I might have cyclothymia, which is a kind of a milder form of bipolar disorder. But we've been talking a little bit more about it. I did a little research, Wikipedia type research about cyclothymia, and I dropped my keyboard over here. And it's kind of like, it's a milder version, but it's basically, you get the same amount of mania as you do depressive episodes. For me, the mania aspect is like barely noticeable. I can give a good example today. Okay. Matter of fact, let me start back yesterday, because yesterday was crazy. Okay, get this right. I get up all early and stuff to go to a dermatology clinic down in Denver. So it's a drive, so I had to leave early. I got up early, drove down there, feeling pretty good in the morning. Feeling, kind of active, like, oh, alright, let's get stuff done, let's get out there. Did that, came back home, and basically went downhill from there, because I had I had this list of to-dos, me and my obsessive to-do list, blah blah blah, that were like, I need to get this done. Okay, so take a break and let's start doing this. Started doing it, and then I started feeling tired, and the next thing you know, I started feeling depressed, and then I started having sleep anxiety, and then it started cascading on each other. I've had a couple of episodes of that where it would just compound on itself, and I would go from and I would go from being like I said, when I was down in Denver, being hyperactive, content with life, feeling great, and then in the evening progressing to depression. And the same thing happened today. I was out there. I actually saw my psychiatrist this morning, ironically, and I was out there. I was getting stuff done. I was knocking stuff out that wasn't even on my list. I was like, boom, 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 boom. I was like, boom. I was all energetic. I was a little agitated, a little bit irritable, but I was still, like content. And I was like, wow, I'm getting stuff done. I'm productive. Boom, boom, boom. Knock stuff out. But today I only got like 5 hours of sleep, because I had to get up early for that appointment. And it hit me around like 4 o'clock that I had been spending about a good long period of time on one particular to-do that I shouldn't have been spending so much time on. And this is my to-do list for the day. You can see it. For one day, that is my to-do list. And I added on stuff there, and just added extra stuff, and yeah. So basically, and it includes all coursework and stuff. I forgot to mention yesterday, another thing that brought me down was the fact that, okay, I get back from Denver, right? I spend 4.5 hours with an algebra tutor to review this chapter, because we have an exam. We had an exam that night, and I was like, okay, I want to master this exam, so let's go through everything, blah blah blah. I've been studying a little bit here and there, but apparently not enough. I scored 50% out of 100 on that test. My other tests were 80s or 90s, but this test 50%. So that really bummed me out, and then that just cascaded from there. And today, you know, it's an example of, you know, I was manic in the morning, crazy and stuff, you know, trying to get stuff done. I was like boom, boom, knocking stuff out, feeling pretty good, but still a little irritable, you know, and stuff like that. Halfway through the day, and then 4 o'clock runs around, like, oh my god, I have to get these things done by the end of the day. And each time I try to do them, like for example, you know, I tried to, you know, one of the things on my list was I need to plan out my vacation. I'm going to be going on a vacation in between semesters. I need to find the dates for that vacation, and I need to book the hotels for that vacation. And people need to know, you know, when I'm going to be there, so they're counting on me about that. And then I was sitting there, I was like trying to do it, but I could not concentrate because I was suddenly feeling really tired, suddenly feeling really depressed. And so I was like, okay, I'll try doing a different one, which is another thing that's a priority: algebra. Study the algebra, or study the Sci 101. Either one, you know. And then I put priorities on here too. I mean, I don't just put like all kinds of twos. These are like the ones with stars next to them are like priorities. So I'm like, okay, I gotta get this done, this done, this done, this done, this done, this done before the end of the day. So basically, I was like, I tried doing algebra, and I was too tired to do it. Could not concentrate. I tried doing a little bit of, you know, psychology. Couldn't do it. Tried doing a little bit of planning the hotel trips. Couldn't do it. I even went outside and tried a little archery. You saw that I got a bow earlier. I just couldn't concentrate. And so I was like, okay, I can't do these to-dos. And I'm probably going to end up with another F on this test because of that. And then it's again downward spiral, and this time it just ended up with me crying. Okay, yeah, I cry, and when I can't cry, I SI, and if people don't know what that is, and I don't really want to get into that too much. But I do SI when I am not able to cry as a form of release. But now I'm pondering, what disorder do I have? What mood disorder do I have that is causing me to, like, it could be something from obsessive compulsive because of these to-dos, you know, stuff like that, and I have to perfectly finish every single one of them. Or it could be something like, and I've been talking with my doctor about cyclothymia, but, you know, I look at cyclothymia, I did research on it, like I was saying earlier, and, you know, the manic states and the depressive states are even. With me, it's like the manic states aren't really that noticeable, but the depressive states are really bad, really, really bad. I mean, absolutely. I'll come out and straight out admit it. I've called a suicide hotline twice in the last 2 weeks. And not because I wanted to commit suicide, but I was in a point where I needed someone to talk to. And, you know, it was like late at night and stuff, and nobody was available to talk to. I just needed someone to talk me through it, you know. And the doctors are working with me, and I'm seeking therapy and all this stuff, man. I actually got prescribed a new antidepressant, and I have been off antidepressants now for like 6 months because I just gave up on them. But I wanted to try a tricyclic antidepressant, which might help treat possibly the bipolar aspects of a mood disorder if I have that, you know. Because like I said, if it's cyclothymia, then it'd be even, but it's not. It's shifted downwards. You know, I'm gonna respond to a video that I saw earlier today that I'll make some response to that. that showed pretty well like how it relates and what it is in bipolar 2. It's like, you know, you get this manic and then you get depressive, manic and depressive. But for me, it's like it happens on a 12-hour basis practically. 12-hour basis pretty much every day. You can just count on it. And the crashes, you know, like in the instance where I call the hotlines, you know, crying, doing SI, you know, just like in horrible states of mind, it's because I'm tired. And the whole aspect of me being tired is possibly because of the mania, because the mania causes me, mania happens at night for some reason. I don't know why, but about 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock, I get hyperactive. I think it's because I just stopped. I decided at that point, you know, it's time to get ready for bed, take my pills, and I relax, and there's no pressure to do the to-dos. So I actually end up start doing to-dos, you know, and then I start getting in that wired manic mode where I'm like, do all this stuff, and I'm up until like 1 in the morning, you know, and then I wake up, and I go to bed with that in my mind, and then I wake up earlier than expected because I'm like, oh yeah, there's so much stuff I didn't finish, you know, yesterday, I gotta get it done, blah 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 blah, and I'm like, this is all combined here, and I'm like, what do I have? You know, I mean, what is it? And psychologists cannot. I just started working with a new psychologist, and she got me doing this. I don't know if anybody else is working with CBT therapy before. You know, daily warning signs checklists. I'm actually doing it. I'm applying myself to it because I need to get over this stuff. You know, and of course, 5-column daily record of dysfunctional thoughts. I'm actually filling that out, and yeah, I actually got 2 pages for it too. And I try to record them, you know, because I want to get over this, and I want to know, first off, what is it? What is it? I mean, what do you guys think it is? I've heard everything from like just major depression, but I'm not majorly depressed all the time. Like I just mentioned, you know, sometimes I'm like kind of like hyperactive and excited and, you know, doing all this and that, and I'm feeling fine. So I'm not always depressed. And it can't be really bipolar, because bipolar is like month periods of you know, like several month periods of being depressed, several month periods of being manic, as opposed to like 12-hour periods. And the same thing with cyclothymia, apparently. I don't even know. And, you know, and dysthymia is the other one, is like just like minor depression. I don't know what the heck. I mean, it could just be stress, because and I'm really concerned. I'm starting to get worried about the fact that my course load at school is about to double. It's about to go to 4 courses. I've been taking 2 courses these past 2 semesters just to get a taste of things, you know. I'm going 4 courses, okay? Taking music 120, you know, music appreciation, history of Western civilization, English 121, English composition, and of course college algebra. Ugh. And I'm wondering, can I do it? With all this stuff going on, can I do it? You know? And I've been doing my best to get out there and like have fun at things, you know, and I joined like meetup groups, and I actually joined the SCA, Society of Creative Anachronism, something I've always wanted to do. And I'm getting involved with them, and I'm taking a trip out, and I'm doing all this other stuff. You know, it's not like I'm just sitting around, you know, feeling these feelings and not doing anything about it, but I'm doing things about them. But lately it's just been like a certain type of, I mean, like, again, it's not the anxiety as much anymore, it's just pure depression, especially when I'm tired, and especially when I don't get things on my list done, and I start thinking about the future, and I start thinking about the fact that it's probably going to be worse than I think it is. I mean, and I start getting these hopeless, depressed feelings, and it just, whew, it overwhelms me. Like right now, I'm just in I'm maintaining a stable state just to get this out. It's kind of coming out all jumbled and stuff, but I don't know. What do I have? What is wrong with me? Maybe it's just like something that when you're in your 20s you just go through. Maybe it's normal. Who knows? Maybe I'm just born oversensitive to my environment, and oversensitive to stress, and oversensitive to this or that. And I'm wondering, is it a mental disorder, or is it just normal? The psychiatrist started me on a new antidepressant, so we'll see if that does anything. The name of it, I forget. It's like Trofanol, but it's the broken down version of it. I forget what it's called, but either way, I don't know. I'm just gonna try it out. The depressive things lately have been really eaten away at me, but for some reason the morning isn't depressing, but the evening is. Why is that? I don't know. Just my rambling thoughts. If you guys want to read some of the postings that I've made, I'll put a few links up. Forum.psychlinks.ca, I post a bunch over there, just talking with different psychologists and stuff. There's actually doctors there that kind of give you advice, and other people that suffer from mental disorders. And also, I post on livejournal. If you want to read my journals, they're pretty dark. They're pretty very, very, very dark. But if you want to read them, feel free. They're usually just spouting out stuff, but I'll put some links over there anyway. But I don't know. This has been kind of like a all over the place blog. But the topic is, do I have a mood disorder? What is it? Am I abnormal for my age? What's going on here? That's what I'm trying to figure out. So that's it.